So I'm reading an article on my phone this morning, just scrolling through, and I see this one that's entitled Impossible Quantum Drive That Defies Known Laws of Physics, scheduled for do-or-die launch October spaceflight. Do-or-die October spaceflight, sorry. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, this is crazy. What's a quantum drive? Because I'm a bit of a sci-fi nut, so I'm like, quantum drive, let's find out what a quantum drive is. So I have a look into it, and it's pretty cool. Designed by this company, IVO Limited. Small plug for them. But basically, it's saying, because everyone, up until this point, spaceflight has been dominated, the mechanics of it have been dominated by Newton's first, second, third laws, Newton's laws, which basically says if you want to go forward, you've got to shove something behind you. And so we had this great idea of, why don't we make the thing we shove behind us be quite explosive, to make us go forward even faster, rocket space propellants. So there's this guy, a physicist, Mike McCulloch. I don't know him, I'm just reading about this now, I'm learning. Professor at University of Plymouth. He wanted to further the ideas around what inertia is. In terms of if you got inertia and you want to move that inertia, you have to push something in the other direction. A lot of his ideas weren't really well received. But this one company, IVO, were like, we're doing some stuff around electronics and some pretty funky stuff. We'll give it a go. And so they've been working for the last 16 years on basically a great article. Have a read if you want it. But go back to the other page. Basically a propulsion technology which uses electricity, which they can get from solar panels. And then, see, I'm not a physicist, so I don't get this, but I'm interested. But they take that solar energy and they're able to do something funky with it. And then instead of pushing a propellant, they're able to shove ionized or quantumized electricity out the back end of the satellite. And so it can push these satellites wherever they want to in space. They're basically unlocking space travel for us, affordable space travel, because we don't have to take up tons and tons and tons of hydrogen and oxygen and other rocket fuel propellants. And, it's a one-way trip. This could be something pretty amazing. And they're like, these guys were supposed to launch a satellite, I think it was last month, and that didn't launch for whatever reason. And so they got another launch going up October. We're in July, October. So you can follow the launch. That's cool. Click on that track the link button on their website, and it gives you a calendar link. Cool. I did that. I look forward to learning about this and seeing what's going to happen. But it made me think, if they can unlock space travel, where could we go? So far, out of our solar system, the main one that everyone's interested in is Mars, because it's our closest, okay, don't quote me on this. I can't remember who's closest, Mars or Venus, but we can't land on Venus as far as our current technology allows us. But Mars, we've got a whole bunch, as a race, various countries, we've got a whole bunch of satellites and probes on Mars. So we've got a couple from NASA. There's one from China. There is also an orbiter there from United Arab Emirates. Europe and India have also got spacecrafts studying Mars from orbit. There's a whole bunch of scientific investment into figuring out what's Mars like, what was it like, and what could it be like. And it got me thinking, because Mars is not a very hospitable place. It's bring a spacesuit. It's thin atmosphere. It's not really got much oxygen or nitrogen, which is what we need to breathe. It's mostly inhospitable to us to breathe. Very thin atmosphere, so you're also exposed to vacuum. Very tough place. It's rusty, it's rugged. There's no plants that are growing there. There's very little water, barring ice in different parts of... okay, don't quote me on the ice part, okay? I thought there was ice. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on the ice part. But what I'm trying to say is, this is not a place where you go for a summer vacation. This is not a place where we go off, we buy a batch and we just cruise over there and and like chill for the weekend. This is a place for a certain kind of people. Who are we going to send to Mars? You know, if what was their names? Golly, IVO. If IVO manages to send to get their satellite working, we can start having much more cost-effective travel between Earth and Mars, and we start sending people. Who are we going to send? And the honest truth is, we're not going to be sending a lot of anybody except for scientists and engineers, people who are well studied and they're thought leaders in these spaces. So I thought I might just put that plug in for STEM, science, tech, engineering, math. If this is a pathway you're thinking about, go for it. The future belongs to those who study STEM, to those who invest their energy, invest their time, and invest their life's works basically into STEM. The future belongs to them. We'll be, just like Sir Isaac Newton, Galileo, and others, those that have made huge inroads in science. We'll be singing. Well, not singing. Maybe we'll just be writing your praises for centuries to come. But make your mark on the world. STEM.